Now on CoastTV News.
Language access to government websites, how a Delaware bill aims to improve accessibility for thousands. Honoring the brave, a look at how Ocean City honored those who gave up their lives for our country. Bridge travel, how many drivers to expect this holiday weekend and the best times to avoid traffic.
A few showers possible early on this Memorial Day, otherwise a dry and pleasant day. A dry Tuesday, then the rain returns on Wednesday. I'll track it on Futurecast coming up next.
This is CoastTV News Today.
Good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. Matt Pensick has the day off. Thank you for being up with us during our 6 o'clock hour. And on this Memorial Day, we would like to take a moment to remember and thank all of the service members who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. And we hope everyone is having a safe holiday weekend. And we're now going to bring in First Alert meteorologist Bob Trahey. Bob, this weekend was a good weekend to be outside, not necessarily swimming in the ocean or at a pool, and a light sweatshirt is definitely needed at some points. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Elisa, and good morning, Delmarva, on this Memorial Day. Indeed, it felt like fall yesterday, Elisa. I was outside with a heavier shirt. I was doing some lawn work, so we had the sunshine, but definitely pretty cool, and that continues this morning as we're looking at mostly cloudy skies across Sussex County. Nothing in the way of rain. That's also the case for the eastern shore back to Salisbury, Snow Hill, and Ocean Pines. But farther south, we have been seeing some showers around Crisfield into Chincoteague, and then towards Cape Charles, back through the Hampton Roads area, Norfolk, Elizabeth City. That's where the bulk of the showers are. This disturbance is sliding through, and once it does, we're going to see drier conditions. We're already seeing some clearing across the Ohio Valley, and that drier air will be building in for the rest of our Memorial Day. Out the door this morning, perhaps you're attending some Memorial Day services. 58 in Gumboro, 59 in Georgetown, Redden 55, 58 in Salisbury at 62 in Ocean City. Winds are light, a bit of a breeze at the coast. So Futurecast this morning has the clouds in place. Don't think we're looking at rain across Sussex County. In fact, the clouds thinning out by mid-morning, temperatures in the low 60s. By noon, still on the cool side, around 70 in Salisbury, 69 in Millsboro, and then even cooler at the beach. Is not the best beach weather. Water temperatures in the upper 50s, air temperatures in the mid 60s. Maybe dip your toe in. That's about it. Or unless you're brave, you can go in all the way. And then this evening, we're seeing temperatures cooling off. But of course, we're remembering our fallen service members on this Memorial Day. 61 at 8 a.m. with mostly cloudy skies, and then clearing skies as we go through the morning hours. By noon, 68, and then only 71 by 4 o'clock. Temperatures running below average, but certainly dry with lighter winds. We do have a dry Tuesday, then increasing rain chances on Wednesday. I'll have much more on that coming up a little bit later on.
Thank you, Bob. And we are now taking a live look at the Bay Bridge. More cars than we looked in our last hour are on that roadway. And as people head back from their Memorial Day vacation destinations, you'll likely see more traffic. And the Maryland Department of Transportation anticipated over 340,000 travelers will be on that roadway over the weekend. They've also provided the best times to travel to help you avoid the heaviest congestion. The best times today are before 10 a.m. and after 5 p.m. going east, and before 9 a.m. and after 10 p.m. going west. Many communities are preparing to honor servicemen and women this Memorial Day. In Milford, a ceremony is taking place at Milford High School at 10:30 a.m. Also happening today in Lewis, the American Legion Post 17 will have a tribute parade for Memorial Day. That parade will begin behind the Lewis Presbyterian Church. It'll head down Savannah Road and cross over the bridge towards the beach and end at Post 17. That parade begins this morning at 11 o'clock. And in Rehoboth Beach at the Henlopen American Legion Post 5, people will gather for a Memorial Day ceremony. Officials say that ceremony will include an invocation, the Pledge of Allegiance, and songs including the national anthem and God Bless America. There will also be a keynote speaker, followed by the placement of wreaths in honor of those who made the ultimate sacrifice. This is all taking place this morning at 11 o'clock. And some coastal communities already celebrated the Memorial Day holiday and honored servicemen and women over the weekend. On Sunday, a Memorial Day ceremony was held in Ocean City with various speakers, a band, as well as military vehicles that children could experience. There was also the laying of wreaths to honor and remember those who gave up their lives for our country. Mayor Rick Meehan believes not only is Memorial Day weekend the kickoff to the summer season for the town, but it's also a reminder to give thanks.
It's important we don't forget and we remember to honor those that gave the ultimate sacrifice for our country so we can continue to enjoy Memorial Day weekends with our family and friends.
And this is the first year Ocean City held this Memorial Day celebration, and according to Mayor Rick Meehan, they're planning to make this a yearly tradition. And making state websites more accessible, that's the goal of House Bill 302. Delaware Democrats have introduced a bill that would require all state government websites to be accessible in any language spoken by at least 0.5% of Delaware's population. Lawmakers want every single state website to have a link on it that would take people that need it to a translated version of that same page. Allison Lopez, who grew up in Georgetown and has family from Guatemala, says this change could be a big help.
There's like many Hispanic families or like immigrants that doesn't understand English, and it would like benefit them if they want like more information about something. It would be very helpful for their case.
And House Bill 302 has been reported out of the House Elections and Government Affairs Committee and is now awaiting floor action. If passed by the House, it will move to the Senate before becoming law. And we are now taking a live look at Washington, D.C. President Trump was anything but silent on Sunday, calling out Putin for another attack on Ukraine and Zelensky for his words. This after Russia launched a record air assault on Ukraine over the weekend. In response, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said America's, quote, silence is encouraging Vladimir Putin. CNN's Reed Binion shows us how President Trump is in fact responding.
I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people.
President Donald Trump slamming Russian President Vladimir Putin on Sunday after Moscow launched its largest aerial attack of its 3-year war on Ukraine.
I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time, always gotten along with him, but he's sending rockets into cities and killing people, and I don't like it at all, okay?
Trump writing on social media that Putin, quote, has gone absolutely crazy. According to Ukraine's Air Force, Russia's massive, deadly overnight attack included dozens of missiles and nearly 300 attack drones. Although many of those were intercepted, officials say at least 12 people were killed across Ukraine, including children. Dozens more were injured. Trump, who spoke with Putin recently trying to negotiate a ceasefire between Ukraine and Russia, said he was very surprised about the aerial assault.
We're in the middle of talking, and he's shooting rockets into Kiev and other cities. I don't like it at all.
On social media, Trump also criticized Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who said Sunday morning that, quote, America's silence encourages Putin to continue his onslaught. Russia's air assault also came despite the largest prisoner swap of the war taking place. More than 600 Russian and Ukrainian prisoners were exchanged Sunday. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
And we are just getting started in this hour of Coast TV News today. We still have a lot more news to get to. Coming up, seal recovery success. We'll tell you why this animal's health 180 is so important. And Lewis Looks at Art will show you the newest exhibit and what other pieces could be coming soon. And Dart Changes details will tell you what you need to know about the transportation services today. All that and more as Coast TV News Today continues.
6:10 on our Memorial Day Monday morning, seeing lots of clouds in Laurel right now. Nothing in the way of precipitation, 58 degrees, and we have the clouds across Sussex County, but it's dry. The same for Salisbury back to Ocean Pines. Eastern Shore, you see a little blip of green near Cambridge and a few more showers heading towards D.C., but I don't know if that's even hitting the ground. We are seeing showers southern tip of Delmarva back into Virginia and North Carolina. That's where the showers are, but this system is sliding to the southeast, and eventually we will start to see the clouds decreasing as we go through the morning hours. It's cool out the door, 54 in Harrington, 58 in Gumboro, Millsboro 57 with lower 60s at the coast. A light breeze, and that'll be the case for today. So maybe you're breaking out the golf clubs and hitting the golf course on this Memorial Day. Looking pretty good, decreasing clouds and pleasant, but still a little bit on the cool side at a high of 72.
Thank you, Bob. Prepare for Dart service changes today. The agency says in Sussex County, beach bus services and Route 305 will be running. Paratransit will also provide ADA-only service, and all other Dart services will not be operating. Dewey Beach has been working on a few pedestrian improvements ahead of the summer season, including lowering blinking yellow lights for crosswalks. Now the town says if you do not use those crosswalks, it it will cost you $50. Dewey Beach Commissioner Paul Bauer told Coast TV enforcing this fine will be the only way it sticks. And on your screen now are new photos from a fire in Georgetown over the weekend. The Milton Fire Department says they assisted Millsboro Fire Company in containing this fire. There's no information on the cost and damages yet from that fire. And the Justice Department has struck a deal with aircraft maker Boeing to avoid prosecution of the company over the fatal crashes of the 737 MAX. That's according to a court filing on Friday. This makes an official public proposal publicly reported last week, though a judge will still have to approve the deal for it to go into effect. As a part of the proposed deal, the DOJ says Boeing will pay more than $1 billion in fines, make commitments to strengthen safety and compliance programs, and offer payments for the crash victims' families. Gas prices are holding steady for the Memorial Day holiday as tens of millions of Americans hit the road. As of Sunday, the average cost of a gallon of regular in the United States was $3.18, according to AAA. That's the lowest over a Memorial Day weekend since 2021. More Americans are expected to be on the roads over Memorial Day weekend, with AAA estimating nearly 40 million people will be driving. That's an increase of about 3% from last year.
Beautiful shot this morning looking over Delaware Bay on the tunnel and razor cam. Some clouds, some dark clouds, but also some blue sky and dry in Sussex County, a little wetter farther south. Otherwise, we're looking at a decent Memorial Day for Delmarva, a bit on the cool side, and then we're looking at a dry Tuesday with rain returning by Wednesday. I'll track it all on Futurecast coming up in 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
The time is now 6:15 and we are taking a live look outside at Lewis this morning. And Bob, it's hard to believe it's Memorial Day already. It's the unofficial start to summer. We have a beautiful sunrise. That sun is not as warm as it has been in past Memorial Day weekends, though.
No, and I'm sure a lot of folks are like, where's the summer-like warmth? Where did it go? Well, Lisa, it is gone this past weekend and this Memorial Day. It's going to be a cooler one. Let's step back in time a little bit, look at some records on Memorial Days previous. In 2011, we hit 95, 94 degrees in 1991, and back in 1959 and 2010, we hit 93. So there have been hot Memorial Days. This is not one of them. A cold high of 59 back in 2000, and a record low of 40 back in 1940. And as far as rain, a little less than 1.5 inches in 2016, 1.25 inches in 2023, and about 1.25 inches in 1997. So we have had weather extremes on Memorial Day, but this one is not one of them. I think we're looking at a pretty quiet day, pretty dry, and temperatures a little below average. As we're looking at just slight chances of rain through Tuesday, then we see that spike with Tuesday night, Wednesday night, with widespread to scattered showers likely. It's going to be a washout on Wednesday, still lingering showers Thursday. And then I think it's drier towards the end of the week. Could see a scattered shower Saturday, but the best chance of rain is coming Wednesday and Thursday of this week. And right now you can see we've got lots of clouds. You just saw that beautiful sunrise, and there are some breaks in the clouds too. Nothing in the way of rain across Sussex County, the Eastern Shore, and back through areas of Maryland, through Salisbury, Snow Hill, and Ocean Pines. Farther south, that's where we're seeing the showers. We had them earlier in Crisfield and Chincoteague. Now they're kind of sinking to the south and weakening a little bit, but still raining if you're taking the Bridge Tunnel down to the Hampton Roads area in Norfolk and then into eastern North Carolina. That's where the showers are, while we're seeing drying conditions back to our north and west. Still maybe a shower around D.C. Otherwise, we're seeing this system sliding to the east and southeast, so a drying trend is on the way with clearer skies as high pressure is building in across the Ohio Valley with mid to high level clouds there. That keeps our weather dry through tomorrow. And then there's another system developing across the plains, and that will promise some rain as we go into Wednesday. Out the door, 56 in Willards, 58 in Gumboro right now, 62 in Ocean City, 61 from Bethany Beach up to Lewis. Winds are calm, a little bit of a breeze at the coast, so we'll have lighter winds today. If you want to break out the grill, finally have some light winds to cook out. We'll see those clouds this morning on Futurecast, and then they'll thin out by mid-morning with temperatures in the 60s. So if you're attending Memorial Day services, I think we're looking good there. make sure you have a heavier jacket or a sweatshirt, and then upper 60s around 70 by noon, 60s at the beach. So it's not exactly great beach weather as temperatures are stuck in the 60s at the coast. Water temperature in the upper 50s with lower 70s for the most part inland. We're looking at clear skies this evening and temperatures dip once again. This model has 40s inland tomorrow. I don't know about that, but it's going to be awfully chilly with 50s at the coast. Then we're increasing the clouds on Tuesday and another cool day with 60s and low 70s for highs. Those clouds thickening up as we go into Wednesday morning. Then we're watching low pressure headed our way midweek with rain, some thunder. It's going to be cool, damp, and raw with highs in the 60s. Those showers could linger into your Thursday. We see the rain building in Wednesday morning. It becomes steady, maybe a rumble of thunder Wednesday night, and still some lingering showers as we go into Thursday. But then it looks like we start to dry things out as we go into Friday, and still temperatures running a little bit below average to end the month of May and to begin the month of June. But I think after the first week of June, we finally start to see some summer-like temperatures. Paul Davis, 7-day forecast, 72 today and tomorrow with a mix of sun and clouds, and 51 tomorrow morning. Pretty chilly. Then by Wednesday, here comes the rain, 64, pretty much a washout. Lingering showers Thursday, a little warmer, 75, 78 Friday, a dry day, maybe a few showers Saturday. Overall, I think the weekend looking pretty good. A high of 80 Saturday, sunshine on Sunday, and a high of 78.
Thank you, Bob. The Lewis Public Art Committee has added a temporary art piece to George H.P. Smith Park. This sculpture, whose name in French means evening sky, features brightly colored pillars made of aluminum. It's designed to show constantly changing patterns depending on where you stand, and visitors to the park think it's a nice addition for the summer season.
But I like how they used, simplistic, but it's, colorful. It's nice. I like how they put it next to a park.
And this is the first of 2 pieces to be installed. The second will be added to Canal Front Park between June 5th and the 6th. Up next on Coast TV News today, seal recovery success. We'll tell you the massive turnaround for this young sea animal. Don't go anywhere. Dewey Beach is reminding people who bring their dogs to the beach that dogs are not permitted on the beach between 9:30 and 5:30, so make sure you plan your beach trip with your furry friend accordingly. And the youngest seal ever in the National Aquarium's care has successfully been released back into the sea. This is Arcadia. At just a few weeks old, she was stranded in Ocean City and taken to receive care in Baltimore for her injuries back in March. While in care, she recovered and learned how to swim and hunt for fish on her own. On Thursday, she was released back to Assateague Island State Park. And Bob, we have another cool day at the beach, but you definitely want to make sure you get outside today and tomorrow, because later this week we have some rain on the way, as you said earlier.
Yes, we do, but not a bad beach day. But I think you have to be pretty hardy to take a dip in the ocean with a temperature near 60, Lisa. But look at the air temperatures in the mid-60s today in Chincoteague. At least some afternoon sun, but it is going to be cool. Yeah, too cool almost to take a dip. Assateague, we're looking at low to mid-60s for you. UV index will be high, so have that higher SPF sunscreen. Fenwick Island and Ocean City, 60s for you. Waves only about 1 to 2 feet with not much in the way of wind. On the bay side, the next 3 days, well, we've got dry conditions today and tomorrow in Cambridge, but then here comes the rain Wednesday and much colder, and then upper 60s for Crisfield today and tomorrow, and a rainy Wednesday on the way. That could linger into Thursday, and then it dries out by Friday. Much more on your holiday forecast and what's in store for the rest of the week coming up in the next half hour.
Thank you, Bob. Well, ready or not, summer is heating up along the coast. The crowds are coming, and so are some can't-miss events. Christina DeRobertis shows us all the cool things to do on Delmarva this summer.
Memorial Day is the start of the summer season here on Delmarva, and this year has some big anniversaries for big events. The Ocean City Air Show zooms back onto the coast June 14th and 15th. There will be fighter jets, a parachute team, and more. Dewey Beach becomes Spain on June 28th. For over 27 years, the Starboard has hosted Running of the Bull. People pack the streets with a celebrity matador to raise money for the Rehoboth Beach Volunteer Fire Company. Celebrate Independence Day with history and flair. Lewis has a boat parade and doodah parade where floats are made up of, well, just about anything. The city of Rehoboth Beach set to put the ooh and ah on the 4th of July this year with a fireworks display on Saturday, July 5th. Bethany Beach has a parade on the 4th. The theme this year is Traditions Thrive in 25. Giddy up! This year is the 100th annual Pony Swim in Chincoteague. On July 30th, saltwater cowboys gather the wild ponies and foals across the channel, and the day after, ponies are auctioned off to control the herd population and raise money for the volunteer firefighters who care for the animals throughout the year. What is billed as the world's largest and richest billfish tournament happens August 4th through the 8th in Ocean City. We're talking about the White Marlin Open. The 2024 event drew 318 boats, over 3,000 contestants, and over $8.5 million in prize money. Some of these events are free, some have special tickets. We have all the details on CoastTV.com. For Coast TV News, I'm Christina DeRobertis.
Now on Coast TV News.
Language access to government websites, how a Delaware bill aims to improve accessibility for thousands. Honoring the brave, a look at how Ocean City honored those who gave up their lives for our country. Bay Bridge travel, how many drivers to expect this holiday weekend and the best times to avoid traffic.
A few showers possible early on this Memorial Day, otherwise a dry and pleasant day. A dry Tuesday, then the rain returns on Wednesday. I'll track it on Futurecast coming up next.
This is Coast TV News Today.
Good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. Matt Pensick has the day off. It is 6:28 on this Memorial Day. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And this morning, I think first meteorologist Bob Trahey is feeling a sense of relief. Bob, your New York Knicks won last night. You woke up to good news. I'm happy to see it for you.
Thanks a lot, Elisa. The Cardiac Kids, they were down 20. They came back and won again on the road. So great to see that. And the Mets won as well. So a good night for the blue and orange for sure. On our Memorial Day, we're looking at some clouds across Sussex County. Nothing in the way of rain. So I don't think we have to worry about the rain here. Even Salisbury and Ocean Pines were good. Eastern Shore, we're seeing mostly cloudy skies. Maybe a sprinkle, Chesapeake Bay, a few more showers near D.C., but those are very, very light. The concentration of showers farther south now. We had them in Crisfield and Chincoteague earlier, but now they're beginning to press a little farther to the south. So light rain showers, southern tip of Delmarva into eastern North Carolina, around Elizabeth City, into the Richmond area. And this whole disturbance is sliding to the east and southeast. We'll be getting into the drier air with increasing sunshine as we go through the day. So all in all, a good-looking Memorial Day. 56 in Willard, 57 in Millsboro, 61 in Rehoboth, down at Bethany Beach this morning. So it is definitely cool. So if you're headed out for Memorial Day ceremonies this morning, make sure you have a heavier jacket out the door, as we're looking at calm winds. So at least the winds will be much lighter today, pretty conducive to cooking out. As we're looking at clouds decreasing this morning by 9 a.m., we're looking at temperatures in the low to mid 60s, 50s and 60s at the coast. And if you want to go to the beach for beach weather, boy, it's going to be chilly there with 60s at the beach, water temperatures around 60. So it's going to be chilly. I think you're going to have to be a brave soul, definitely, to get in the ocean, or if you go in, you'll be coming out pretty quickly. Inland area 71 in Millsboro, 73 in Delmar into Salisbury, 72 in the Seaford area mid-afternoon. And then this evening, if you are cooking out, we're looking at light winds, but still on the cool side. Temperatures falling back through the 60s most places, lower 60s at the beaches. Of course, we're remembering our fallen service members on this Memorial Day, and we're looking at temperatures in the low 60s with lots of clouds around 8 a.m., but then mostly sunny, I think, by noon, but still on the cool side around 67. Then by 4 o'clock, 71 degrees. So if you are breaking out the grill, I think we're looking at pleasant conditions for that with light winds this afternoon. Then it looks like the rain returns midweek. I'll have the timing on that coming up a little bit later in the newscast.
Thank you, Bob. And we are now going to take a live look at the Bay Bridge. We've been seeing more and more cars on that roadway throughout the entire morning. And this roadway was likely busier earlier in the weekend as people traveled to their vacation destination. But also as people leave those destinations today, you'll likely see more cars. The Maryland Department of Transportation actually anticipated over 340,000 travelers will use that roadway over the entire holiday weekend. They've also provided the best times to travel to help you avoid the heaviest congestion. The best times today are before 10 a.m. and after 5 p.m. going east, and before 9 a.m. and after 10 p.m. going west. Milford will host a ceremony today in honor of the lives lost. In Milford, that ceremony will take place at Milford High School at 10:30 this morning. And many communities are preparing to honor servicemen and women this Memorial Day. In Rehoboth Beach at Henlopen American Legion Post 5, people will gather for a Memorial Day ceremony. Officials say that ceremony will include an invocation, the Pledge of Allegiance, and songs, including the national anthem and God Bless America. There will also be a keynote speaker, followed by the placement of wreaths in honor of those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. This is all taking place this morning at 11 a.m. And also happening today in Lewis, the American Legion Post 17 will have a tribute parade for Memorial Day. That parade will begin behind the Lewis Presbyterian Church. It'll head down Savannah Road, across the bridge towards the beach, and end at Post 17. That parade starts this morning at 11 o'clock. And some coastal communities already celebrated Memorial Day and honored servicemen and women over the weekend. On Sunday, a Memorial Day ceremony was held in Ocean City with various speakers, a band, military vehicles for children to experience, and the laying of wreaths to honor and remember those who gave their lives for our country. Mayor Rick Meehan believes not only is Memorial Day weekend a kickoff to the summer season, but it's an important reminder to give thanks. This was the first year Ocean City held this Memorial Day ceremony, and according to Mayor Meehan, they're planning to make this a yearly tradition. Delaware Democrats have introduced a bill that would require all state government websites to be accessible in any language spoken by at least 0.5% of Delaware's population. Telemundo Delmarva and CoastTV News reporter Ana Sofia Roman shows us what this means to the community.
Making state websites more accessible, that's the goal of House Bill 302. Lawmakers want every single state website to have a link on it that would take people that need it to a translated version of that same page. The bill also allows the use of automated translation tools as long as there's a disclaimer about the accuracy of the text. Alison Lopez, who grew up in Georgetown and has family from Guatemala, says this change could be a big help.
There's like many Hispanic families or like immigrants that doesn't understand English, and it would like benefit them if they want like more information about something. It would be very helpful for their case.
According to the U.S. Census Bureau, 14.8% of Delawareans age 5 and older speak a language other than English at home, Spanish being the most common one. For Lopez, this legislation shines a light on a struggle many face.
Some family members that I know that they're not that fluent, but they have kids also, but sometimes they're like busy with school, or like they're like small enough where they can't like fully translate for them.
A step many say moves the first state closer to understanding, access, and equality. In Georgetown, Ana Sofia Roman, Coast TV News.
And House Bill 302 has been reported out of the House Elections and Government Affairs Committee and is now awaiting floor action. If passed by the House, it will move to the Senate before becoming law. And we are now taking a live look at Washington, D.C. President Trump was anything but silent on Sunday, calling out Putin for another attack on Ukraine and Zelensky for his words. This after Russia launched a record air assault on Ukraine over the weekend. In response, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said America's, quote, silence is encouraging Vladimir Putin. Over the weekend, Moscow launched its largest aerial attack of its 3-year war on Ukraine. According to Ukraine's Air Force, Russia's massive, deadly overnight attack included dozens of missiles and nearly 300 attack drones.
I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time, always gotten along with him, but he's sending rockets into cities and killing people, and I don't like it at all, okay?
Officials say at least 12 people were killed across Ukraine, including children, and dozens more were injured. And we have a lot more news to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere. Coming up, Delmarva crash details. We'll tell you about the dangerous weekend and how crews responded. And Harbison Hazard will tell you what is next for the people involved in this crash in Harbison over the weekend. Stay with us on Coast TV News Today.
It is exactly 6:39 on Memorial Day, Monday morning. Tyndall's Casual Furniture, Cam and Laurel. Lots of clouds, 58 degrees. So far, nothing in the way of rain across Sussex County. Just seeing lots of clouds here, back through Salisbury, Ocean Pines, and the Eastern Shore. So far dry, but there are some showers around the D.C. area. We'll have to see if they hold together. So there is that outside chance of a shower this morning. Better chance of rain southern tip of Delmarva into North Carolina as the system is sinking to the south and east. And eventually, we will see more in the way of sunshine as we go through the day. It's cool out the door. 59 in Georgetown, 57 in Millsboro and Dagsboro, 58 in Salisbury, 61 in Bethany Beach up to Lewis. So if you're headed out this morning for ceremonies or just out and about, make sure you have a heavier jacket. A little bit of a breeze along the coast, otherwise pretty calm. And some of us do have to work today. Yeah, right, Elisa? A morning commute, we're looking at a stray shower possible, but I still gave it the green light because it's mainly dry and cool. And then this afternoon, more in the way of sunshine, dry and pleasant conditions, and the green light there. Congratulations to Scott Harrison from Millsboro on winning a brand new umbrella, courtesy of Paul Davis and Coast TV.
Thank you, Bob. Delaware State Police are investigating a deadly motorcycle crash that happened early Sunday morning, just after 2:30. Troopers say on May 25th, a Toyota Sienna crossed into oncoming traffic on Millsboro Highway and crashed with a motorcycle. You can see that area on your screen right now where that crash happened. According to officials, the 58-year-old motorcyclist from Millsboro was pronounced dead at the scene. His name has not been released. The Toyota's driver was not hurt, though 2 passengers were hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries. And in Harbison, we are looking at new pictures from the Indian River Volunteer Fire Company. Officials say 2 people were injured in a rear-end crash Saturday at Holly Mount and Beaver Dam roads. A gray Honda Accord hit a Honda Ridgeline pickup. Both drivers were taken to the hospital. Aviation was called, but then canceled, and state police say they are still investigating. Bulk trash pickup in Fenwick Island is happening this week. Mark your calendars for Tuesday, May 27th and Thursday, May 29th. The town says in order to make sure all of your items are collected, place everything curbside by 10 p.m. on Wednesday, May 28th. Tires, appliances, shingles, concrete, propane tanks, helium tanks, paint and yard waste like branches and trees will not be collected. And coming up tonight on DSN, your game of the night at 6:30, it's Stellar Fights 66. Then for a recap, you can get harness racing at 10:30. And summer movie season is in full swing, and big films are coming this fall and next year. David Daniel has all of the details in today's Hollywood Minute.
The way of water connects all things.
Avatar: The Way of Water is returning to IMAX. The second Avatar film is set to be re-released on October 3rd, ahead of the next film in the franchise, Avatar: Fire and Ash, which is due out December 19th.
You have no style or sense of fashion. No. That wasn't a question.
The Devil Wears Prada fans are getting their sequel sooner than expected. The Fashion World follow-up is now due in theaters May 1st, 2026. Disney had held that date for Avengers Doomsday, starring Robert Downey Jr. That's now set to arrive in December of 2026.
Your team has been betrayed, Ethan.
For one member of that team, Greg Tarzan Davis, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning and the press tour was a learning experience.
It was beautiful to see glaciers. I had never seen a glacier besides in a textbook. I had never seen a polar bear besides, never in IRL. So
Bro,
I just
stop
learned.
saying that.
I just learned that.
Now he's saying that every interview. I'm like, what are you doing?
I don't know.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
If you're having a rough week, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up right now for free at coasttv.com and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday.
We're taking a live look right now at the Gutter Helmet Cam, seeing some clouds, also some blue skies, 61 in Ocean View. On the cool side this morning, maybe a stray shower, otherwise a decent Memorial Day for Delmarva, a bit on the cool side. We've got a dry Tuesday on the way, then rain returns Wednesday. I'll track it all on Futurecast coming up in 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
The time is now 6:46, and we are taking a live look outside at Laurel this morning. And Bob, in comparison to the week we had last week with all of the rain, this Memorial Day and Memorial Day weekend, the weather actually was not that bad, just a little bit cool.
No, I mean, and it was dry. I mean, we had a nice weekend, Elisa. Yeah, for sure. And today, not bad, not perfect. I think ideally we want sunshine and 80, 85 degrees. That's not going to be the case for today, as it is just a little cooler on this Memorial Day. Morning clouds, and then I think we'll see afternoon sunshine. Beautiful conditions, low 70s, maybe mid 70s inland, but cooler 60s at the coast. It's going to be tough beach day. It's going to be cooler there. And then Tuesday is dry. Then Wednesday, periods of rain, struggling to get out of the 60s as the rain returns then. As you can see, an uptick in that rain as we go into Tuesday night, and then widespread rain Wednesday and into Wednesday night. Maybe some thunder in there too. Still some scattered showers on Thursday, and then I think we dry it out Friday. Maybe a chance of a few showers on Saturday, but overall right now the weekend looks pretty good. This morning we have a lot of clouds, a lot of bark, not a lot of bite with these clouds. Not seeing anything in the way of rain yet across Sussex County. Salisbury, Snow Hill, Ocean Pines, you're dry. Eastern Shore, you're dry right now, but we are seeing some showers around the D.C. area. And then farther south from Cape Charles and Point South, we're seeing some showers into Norfolk and eastern North Carolina. There are those showers near D.C. right now. We'll have to see if they hold together. If they do, we could see a few sprinkles across the Eastern Shore, maybe Sussex County, but I think the trend is for decreasing clouds as we go through the morning hours. And there are those showers around the district right now and then back through Roanoke. But then you see this clearing line making its way south through West Virginia and Virginia. And eventually we will see that clearing trend for us with more of the heavier showers farther to the south. And then we've got high pressure to the north. That's keeping our weather nice later today into Tuesday before we start to see more unsettled weather by Wednesday. Out the door, 59 in Georgetown, 55 in Redden. Willard's right now at 56. 62 Ocean City, and 61 in Bethany Beach with light winds, just a little bit of a breeze along the coast. Futurecast has those clouds thinning out through the morning hours and temperatures slowly rising through the 60s. In fact, by noon, most of us in the 60s, maybe 70 in Salisbury, lower 70s mid-afternoon inland, but a tough day at the beach as far as wanting to take a dip. We're looking at low to mid 60s for highs there. That's about it. And then this evening, clear skies, and then through the overnight, pretty chilly. This model has lows in the 40s tomorrow morning. Don't know about that, but probably right around 50 degrees as we see increasing clouds on Tuesday and temperatures pretty much where they were today, into the 60s and low 70s, and then thickening clouds Tuesday night into Wednesday as we're watching low pressure heading our way. That's going to give us a wet Wednesday, maybe some thunder too, with highs only into the 60s. As that rain moves in Wednesday morning, it becomes steady to maybe heavy at times during the day, maybe a rumble of thunder, then still some lingering showers on Thursday. Then we do start to dry it out, I think, as we go into your Friday. And as far as temperatures, still a little on the cool side to end May and begin the month of June, but then in better conditions after that. Lower 70s today in Georgetown, Millsboro, and Laurel around 72 there. And then 74 in Easton, Vienna around 74. And then we're looking at sun and clouds today. Light northeast breeze for Princess Anne around 72, 68 in Snow Hill, and 70 in Ocean City. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, lower 70s today and tomorrow with the sun and clouds. Then a washout Wednesday, 64 with the rain. Lingering showers Thursday, a little warmer, 75. Dried out Friday, and then the weekend not too bad. 80 on Saturday. It's been a while since we've seen 80s, but maybe a few showers, and then drying out on Sunday with sunshine and a high of 78.
Thank you, Bob. More people have been accused and arrested for helping inmates who escaped from a New Orleans parish jail earlier this month. Elizabeth Kubel shows us the latest in the search, as at least 5 inmates are still on the run.
Accomplice arrests are mounting as the manhunt to capture these remaining escaped inmates continues. Jail records show the weekend arrests of 27-year-old Tyshania Randolph and 18-year-old Patricia Van Buren, both charged with accessory after the fact and both being held on a $1 million bond.
Accessory after the fact is helping after they escaped, either providing them clothing, food, shelter, giving them a ride somewhere, things like that along those lines. Just giving them aid and not reporting that aid, talking to them on the phone and continuing to tell them you're going to help them and providing any kind of aid that you might provide them.
Lanika Van Buren, who shares the same last name as escapee Letton Van Buren, was arrested Sunday and charged with violation of probation. 9 others have been arrested, accused of helping the men who broke out. And law enforcement has repeatedly said more arrests could be coming.
Helping them is not helping the public. It's making things dangerous for everyone out there.
The time is now 6:51, and we are going to check in with our coastal pet of the day. And today's coastal pets of the day are honoring Memorial Day. On your screen right now are Diesel and Benny. As you can see, they're excited for the unofficial kickoff to the summer season. And we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. You can take a look at your screen, scan the QR code at the top of your screen, and submit your furry friend to Coast TV News. Then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all of the pets we feature. It is 6:54, and it's time for the things you need to know before you go. Gas prices are holding steady for this Memorial Day holiday as tens of millions of Americans hit the road. As of Sunday, the average cost of a gallon of regular in the United States was $3.18, according to AAA. That's the lowest over a Memorial Day weekend since 2021. More Americans are expected to be on the road over the Memorial Day weekend, with AAA estimating nearly 40 million people will be driving. That's an increase of about 3% from last year. Making state websites more accessible, that's the goal of House Bill 302. Delaware Democrats have introduced a bill that would require all state government websites to be accessible in any language spoken by at least 0.5% of Delaware's population. Lawmakers want every single state website to have a link that would take people that need it to a translated version of the same page. House Bill 302 has been reported out of the House Elections and Government Affairs Committee and is now awaiting floor action. If passed by the House, it will move to the Senate before becoming law. Dewey Beach has been working on a few pedestrian improvements ahead of the summer season, including lowering blinking yellow lights for crosswalks. Now the town is saying if you do not use those crosswalks, it will cost you $50. Dewey Beach Commissioner Paul Bauer told Coast TV enforcing that fine will be the only way that it sticks. And the youngest seal ever in the National Aquarium's care has successfully been released back into the sea. This is Arcadia. At just a few weeks old, she was stranded in Ocean City and taken to Baltimore to receive care for her injuries. That was back in March, and while in care, she recovered and learned how to swim and hunt for fish on her own. On Thursday, she was released at Assateague Island State Park. And the time is now 6:56, so we are going to take another look at your Memorial Day forecast. Bob, whether you're headed to work today or if you're headed to go somewhere early this morning, you're going to want to wear a jacket in the morning.
I would think so on this Memorial Day for sure, Lisa. Definitely a heavier sweatshirt. We're seeing cloud cover out there. Right now, nothing in the way of showers, but we are seeing some showers now starting to move into the eastern shore around the D.C. area. We'll have to see if they hold together, but just a stray shower this morning. The steadier showers, southern tip of Delmarva and down into North Carolina. This system is sinking to the southeast, and eventually we'll see thinning clouds as we go through your Memorial Day. As we're in the 50s this morning, then 60s, and then only into the lower 70s into the afternoon hours, even cooler at the beaches. Temperatures only in the 60s there, but light winds today, so maybe you want to break out the grill later on. Looking good for that. Paul Davis 10-day forecast, 72 today and tomorrow. A washout Wednesday, 64. Lingering showers Thursday. It dries out Friday, and then we're looking at some showers perhaps on Saturday around 80, 78 Sunday, then a bigger warm up into next week.
Thank you, Bob, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News today. The Today Show is coming up next at 7 a.m. Then we'll be back for Coast TV midday at 11. And for even more news and coverage you can count on, download our Coast TV News and weather apps. Have a great day.